This is a starter guide for people that want to build computers for the first time. This video is divided into 4 segments: computer components, materials, safety precautions, and finally, the step-by-step process. First, the CPU is the computer's brain, processing and executing digital instructions for multiple programs. Second, the motherboard. This is a printed circuit board that houses the CPU and other critical internal hardware. RAM is a type of volatile memory that stores data temporarily. More RAM means more Chrome tabs can be opened. Storage, there are mainly 2 types, SSDs and HDDs. The one that we have is an HDD. HDDs are cheaper and slower than SSDs and are typically used for storage. SSDs, on the other hand, are non-volatile storage based on NAND flash memory technology. This means SSDs are much faster. Heatsink and other fans. This is a piece of passive hardware that takes heat away from components to assist control and lower their temperatures so they can continue to work correctly. GPU is a chip-based device that processes graphical data and frequently serves as a supplement to the primary CPU. PSU, or the power supply unit, provides power to the other components. And lastly, the computer case. The case aids in the organization of all components and shields the components from being damaged. First, screwdrivers. These tools are needed to screw the motherboard into the computer case. Cable ties are excellent for tidying up wires away from other computer components. An anti-static wristband protects the equipment from static damage. Heatsink compound can improve the thermal efficiency of heatsinks and improves cooling. It is recommended to reapply heatsink compounds once every 2 to 3 years to maintain optimal performance. Small containers to hold the many screws necessary to construct a computer. If you are a first-time builder, make sure to take note of where the screws are going to be located. When it comes to electricity, be cautious. Make sure that new power supply is removed from the outlet when assembling your computer. Use the appropriate equipment for the job. The wrong tool can damage your computer's components. Be aware that static electricity is a serious threat that can harm your computer's components. Keep delicate components in anti-static bags and only take them out when you're ready to install them. If you do not have anti-static equipment, make sure to ground yourself before building the computer. To ground yourself, connect the computer to a wall outlet and touch the metal part of the PC case. You do not need to turn on the computer when you are doing this. Pull the lever of your CPU socket upward, and then gently place your CPU correctly and then pull down the lever. Push the clips of your memory slot and then carefully push down your RAM module until you hear a click. Now, slide in your power supply unit and screw it into its place. Push your hard disk drive into its chamber and screw it tightly. Be sure to connect the data and power cable of your HDD. Lay down and screw your motherboard onto the system unit gently. Place the heatsink on top of your CPU socket. Slide your graphics card into its place and plug in the PCIe cables. You can now screw your fans onto the side of the system unit. Make sure that all other cables are plugged into the motherboard. And slide the side panel of the system case to finish your work. To check if it is working, plug it into an electrical socket and then check if it is running properly. Unscrew the side panel of your system unit and put your screws in a bowl. We remove the graphics card first as it blocks other components from going out. Make sure to unplug all the cables connected to the motherboard. Push the clips down of the memory slot and gently pull out the RAM module. Now, unscrew the fans on the side of your system unit. Unclip the heatsink and pull it out of the motherboard. Pull the lever up of the CPU socket and gently pull out the CPU. Be careful not to damage the pins. Remove all the screws of your motherboard and pull it out of the system unit. We now remove the hard disk drive by unplugging all its wires and unscrewing it out of its chamber. Unscrew the power supply unit and slide it out of the PC case. And you are done. This is PC Building 101.